What up, YouTube? It's NoChainzz, and I'm back for another commentary, and we are back for another episode of my Cincinnati Bengals Connected franchise in Madden 25. And in this episode, there will be two games. The first game will be versus the Baltimore Ravens. The second game will be versus the Cleveland Browns, who are no pushover team. So two straight AFC North rivalry matchups. Let's see what we can do. The Ravens are in third place in the AFC North, whereas the Cleveland Browns are fourth. But this will be a tough game. These games versus the Ravens, especially at M&T Bank Stadium, are always tough. They're always solid. However, it will be a little bit easier because they are without their starting quarterback, Joe Flacco. So that is a good thing. In place of him, they will have Gerard Johnson starting. But getting things started for the Cincinnati Bengals, there's Jason Campbell showing off his running ability, and you never see him really do that since he's been starting for the Bengals this year. So then he's going to go to A.J. Green. He breaks a tackle but will be brought down at the 30-yard line. So he is off to a good start, 19 yards for him that time. So third down for Jason Campbell. He's dropping all the way back, rolling out to the right side, has a man but decides to take it and run on his own instead, and he will be brought down and injured by Elam that time. So that will bring in A.J. McCarron for the rest of the game. And what does he do as soon as he comes in? Fires in a laser to A.J. Green to take the lead for the Cincinnati Bengals. That is his first career touchdown toss, and that is very good for him. So the Ravens could not do anything with the ball. He's going to find A.J. Green again for a gain of 11. And on 3rd down and 1, we will be stopped in the backfield, and C.J. Mosley was there to knock down Giovanni Bernard. But they get the ball back, and they're on a nice little run right there with Ray Rice, and he will get them all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 3rd down and 1 for Gerard Johnson, and he will be brought down by Ray Maluga for a sack, and they will settle for a field goal. A.J. McCarron finding Marvin Jones on a comeback route, and he has just been playing so solid lately in the last couple of weeks. Marvin Jones, there he is again with another first down catch. Like I said, he's been very, very solid. A.J. McCarron not looking too bad so far. But there's Marvin Jones again, brought down by the face mask, but the referees missed it that time. 2nd down and 9, we're going to A.J. Green again. He goes airborne and gets an extra yard or so. So that's 3rd down and inches. The Bengals convert play action. We're going to A.J. Green in the end zone, and he will come down with his second touchdown catch of the day. Second touchdown pass by A.J. McCarron. He is off to a great start considering how bad he played when he was filling in for an injured Andy Dalton. But we force a fumble, and it will be recovered by Geno Atkins. So the Bengals get another chance to increase their lead. We will settle for a field goal as we cannot get anything going, and it will be missed. So we get the takeaway but do not get any points off of that. So that is very fortunate for the Ravens. But we go into halftime with an 11-point lead, 14-3. I didn't warn you guys, these videos are going to be very, very fast paced. Each game, I'm not going to have much time to talk about anything else because we really have to move through this season as Madden 15 is getting ready to come out. But the Ravens have gone on a long rush. Ray Rice will get the touchdown there. That is about a 40-yard touchdown if I'm not mistaken. Gerard Johnson is ecstatic. They're going for 2, and they will get it. Vontae Leach will easily get into the end zone. So the Bengals lead has been cut down to 3 points. 14-11 is the score. We're hitting Tyler Eifert over the middle. He has been so solid for the Bengals this season. A.J. McCarron back to pass, finding Marvin Jones again, and he has really emerged as a very solid number 2 receiver behind A.J. Green. And look at this very beautiful touch pass to Tyler Eifert, taking the hit by A.J. McCarron. A.J. McCarron, man, playing very, very well. 3 touchdown tosses. That one the most impressive. That was a very nice touch pass. And then the Bengals will sack Gerard Johnson. Geno Atkins brought him down that time, and that will stall the drive for the Ravens. They give it back to the Bengals. A.J. McCarron is using his feet. He breaks a tackle and will get down inside the 40-yard line. But our drive would stall at that point. Mike Nugent will try for a field goal from the 25-yard line, and he would not be able to get it. I'm seriously considering getting a new kicker to finish out the season. So as we are into the 4th quarter now, it's anybody's game right now. Ray Rice on the screen pass, getting all the way down to about midfield. So from the 42-yard line, Gerard Johnson's going all the way deep to Torrey Smith. So Darquez Denard is human after all. He gets beat severely by Torrey Smith. He had him by a few steps, and they have come to within 3. There's Marvin Jones beating the coverage. A.J. McCarron hits him in stride, and he will get his 4th touchdown pass. And there's Marvin Jones once again having a very solid day. A.J. Green catching 2 touchdowns, and Marvin Jones playing some good football as well. But there's a very nice defensive play by Danielle Manning, swatting down the pass on 4th down, so the Bengals have a chance to increase their lead and put this game out of reach. And they do just that. Giovanni Bernard will walk into the end zone, and now the score is 35-18. But they're going to get some dignity points to Daniels that time. But the game is pretty much over. The Bengals leave M&T Bank Stadium with a victory and move to 7-3 on the season. This is a very impressive win over a tough Ravens team, although they're not having the best season that they've had in the last couple of years, but they are playing decent football, and we were able to be Road Warriors today and get the win. A.J. McCarron played a big part, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 84% completions, 21 for 25 is what he went. Jason Campbell went down early, and A.J. McCarron came right in and didn't lose a step for the offense. So A.J. McCarron will be starting next week versus Johnny Manziel and the Cleveland Browns. Giovanni Bernard had a decent game. The game was pretty much on A.J. McCarron's shoulders, seeing as though Giovanni Bernard did not have a very good game on the ground, not very efficient as far as yards per carry. But Marvin Jones played well, Tyler Eifert played well, and so did A.J. Green, catching 2 touchdowns. So like I said, Jason Campbell is not out next week, but I will be going with A.J. McCarron. He won Offensive Player of the Week in the AFC, so I don't want to bench him. He's played very, very well today, and I want to see if he can keep that going versus the 4-5 Browns. I don't think he'll have a problem with this team, although their defense is solid. They have Joe Hayden, Justin Gilbert, Paul Kruger, Carlos Dansby, and the list goes on. They have plenty of good players. They also have acquired Dante Whitner, so let's see how he can do versus this tough defense. So he did it versus the Ravens, so my thinking is he can do it just as well versus the Cleveland Browns. Let's see. It remains to be seen. Andy Dalton does return next week. He will be healthy, and no matter what type of game A.J. McCarron has versus the Browns, he will not be the starter when Andy Dalton is healthy. That's just because I feel like Andy Dalton does give us the best chance to win when he does play well. But what's interesting and intriguing about the 2 quarterbacks, A.J. McCarron and Andy Dalton, they do have very similar numbers. A.J. McCarron got off to a rough start in his rookie season, throwing 4 interceptions before he threw a touchdown last week, and then throwing 4 to even out his count at 4 interceptions to 4 touchdowns. And Andy Dalton, very, very similar. You guys will see the numbers next episode because we have a bye week, so I'll be going around the league. And let's get to this game. Like I said, I don't have time to talk about a lot of other stuff, but A.J. McCarron is off to a very good start this game. There he throws a touchdown, once again a laser into A.J. Green, and we take the lead. And that was Justin Gilbert versus A.J. Green. No disrespect to any Cleveland Browns fans, but that is clearly a mismatch. But coming out to the field already facing a deficit is Johnny Football, and he will try to bring his team back and tie the game up on this drive here. Right off the bat, he hits Miles Austin for a gain of 14. They're going to hand off to Ben Tate, and we had a lot of trouble defending the Cleveland Browns early on in this game. But here they are now inside the 15-yard line. They're going to hit Ben Tate to get inside the 5. So 2nd down and goal from the 3-yard line. They're going to Ben Tate, and he will walk into the end zone and even things out at 7 points apiece here starting off the 2nd quarter. That's a solid drive for the Cleveland Browns and Johnny Football. But here's a nice touch pass by A.J. McCarron to Ryan Whalen, and he will take the monster hit from Dante Whitner, trying to get legally changed to Dante Hittner. But there he coughs up the ball. Very, very nice hit, very textbook and legal hit by Dante Whitner to get the ball back for his team. And there's Johnny Football sliding after a gain of about 15 yards that time. 3rd down and 3, Johnny Football will find Miles Austin in the corner of the end zone. Reggie Nelson getting beat on the coverage that time. You guys have seen Reggie Nelson over the last few weeks struggle with his pass coverage, and you guys have seen it versus the Miami Dolphins. He was primarily on Clay that game, and Clay went for over 100 yards that game, so that's not good at all. So Johnny Football has the ball back after the Bengals punt it away to them. They are already past midfield, and they get inside the 6-yard line that time. However, our defense stands tall and forces them to take a field goal. So now we trail the Cleveland Browns. We are just not playing well right now. We trail them by 10 points, and then A.J. McCarron piles it on with an interception, and Joe Hayden has a chance to go for 6. Hopefully McCarron can just push him out of bounds, and he does. However, Manziel does get good field position inside the 15 already. Johnny Football will be intercepted by Reggie Nelson right as I talk about how bad he was in coverage over the last few weeks. he catches an interception. So the young QBs and Manziel and McCarron trade mistakes, and they cancel each other out. No score change there as they both throw their first interceptions of the game. So 17-7, they're on the move. They hit Jordan Cameron with the screen pass. He breaks the tackle and is up the sideline, airborne, and will be brought down at the 12-yard line. 3rd down and 5. Johnny Football is taking off out of the pocket and takes a big hit from Carlos Dunlap. He should learn to slide if he doesn't want to get injured, especially versus this defense. But somehow the Cleveland Browns forget all about AJ Green as we get the ball back after they kick a field goal. We are down by 13. We need to get something going, and we get a very nice diving catch by Ryan Whalen, who has been solid this season so far. And then we're going to cap this drive off with a touchdown pass to Tyler Eifert. He was wide open. That's like playing catch in the backyard with your dad. And that's a touchdown for the Cincinnati Bengals. So we are now only down by 6 points, and Geno Atkins will get the sack, and we will get the ball back here as the fourth quarter will begin. So 1st down and 10, we're going to Tyler Eifert. He picks up about a good 13 yards. We are inside the red zone now. 2nd down and goal. We're going play action to Jermaine Gresham, and he will catch the touchdown and take the lead for the Cincinnati Bengals. He has been forgotten about really because I rarely do 2 tight end sets, but that time he's effective as he comes down with a touchdown and gets the lead for the Cincinnati Bengals. So if we run clock effectively here, we will end this game for the Browns as they're in a position where they need to call timeouts. Right now they are out of timeouts from the 9-yard line. We hand it off to Giovanni Bernard, and he will get into the end zone and increase our lead to 8 points. He probably should have just went down at the 1-yard line so we could take some clock off, but he wasn't thinking like that time. So Manziel is going deep, trying to bring his team back, and he will be intercepted for the 2nd time today by Reggie Nelson, and then he will just fall down and concede. He doesn't want to fumble the ball, and that will allow the Cincinnati Bengals to just kneel the clock out. Johnny Football had a chance to tie the game up at least for his team and take it to overtime. Instead, he throws it in a double coverage and gets intercepted by the ball-hawking safety Reggie Nelson. When he has a chance to catch interceptions, I admit he does catch them, but he does get beaten man-to-man. He's more of a zone safety, which is primarily what I use him for, but when I blitz, I do put him in man-to-man situations, and he hasn't been too effective in those. But anyway, AJ McCarron had a decent game, well, actually a good game. He threw 1 interception, but threw 3 touchdowns as well. 22 for 29, not a bad day at all, actually. Giovanni Bernard, a little bit better as far as yards per carry. That is what I really want to see out of him. 15 rushes for 79 yards and a touchdown. AJ Green played very well. Marvin Jones played decent this game as well. So 88 yards for AJ Green, who was leading the league in receiving yards. And our defense played well. Reggie Nelson getting 2 interceptions and a few tackles, including a tackle for loss. And our defense was hawking Johnny Manziel all day. But I hope to see you guys in the next episode. We are 8-3 on the season, and we only have a few games left until the playoffs if we make it. Right now, we are in full control of the AFC North. However, the Pittsburgh Steelers are right behind us. They are at 7-3, so we'll be facing them a little bit later in the season, and hopefully we'll be able to knock them down and knock them out of the playoffs. But I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Later.